Hey, what's going on guys? Arekkz here, welcome back to another Borderlands 3 video, and this time I want to take a look at some legendary weapons. When we had a chance to go hands-on with the new build the other week, we got to play as Flak and some of the other Vault Hunters at a higher level. They came pre-equipped with some legendary weapons, plus during our playtime we also got a few to drop. So basically, today I want to show you 6 new legendary weapons that are pretty cool. So if you did enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated. Let me know in the comments down below which ones you guys like the best. And of course, don't forget to keep it locked because we've got plenty more Borderlands stuff coming your way. Now, starting off, we have the, pardon my language for a moment, Cash-Infused Bitch, which is a Hyperion weapon, an SMG, and this is pretty cool. Now, if you guys are familiar with Hyperion weapons, you'll know one of the typical functionalities for these is that when you aim down sights, they have a shield that appears. Every single different weapon manufacturer, brand, so to speak, has their own unique functionality. And for Hyperion weapons, it is that when you aim down sights, you have a shield, which in itself is pretty cool. However, for the legendary version, this one, the flavor text says, "If you can't handle me at my worst," but more importantly, it has a shield capacity of 320, and any damage to the projected front-facing shield reflects the bullets back at its attacker. So considering that SMGs are typically used at, medium to close ranges, then you'll be running up close to your enemies, you'll of course be bringing that shield up, and if they're firing anything, shotguns, assault rifles, anything like that, you can bounce it back right in their face, which is pretty sweet. Plus, Hyperion weapons just look cool anyway, so this is for sure a cool one to mess around with. Then moving on from there, we have the engulfing Super Shreddifier, which is a Vladov assault rifle. So Vladov weapons are of course the ones that come with the under barrel attachments. They come in a variety of different forms. Again, if you guys have seen these before, sometimes they have, additional chain barrels, sometimes they have under barrel rocket launchers or grenade launchers. Basically, they are the modder's dream weapons, and they are, pretty cool as they are. However, this one, the main functionality for this one is that it can fire 2 chain gun barrels at the same time. So if you want to lay down that gunfire, if you want to unload a ton of bullets into your enemy, then that is definitely an option. Of course, the flavor text for this one says that speed kills, and kind of makes sense given that if you're firing 2 chain barrels at one time, you're clearly not there to hang around and you just want to get the job done and move on.
Oh yeah! Oh, you're gonna die.
Moving on from there to number 3, we then have the extended Nemesis. Now, I'll be honest with you, not entirely sure what this one does. This one we kind of picked it up and it wasn't immediately apparent. In fact, the actual flavor text doesn't really make it very clear because dial weapons by default have the ability to swap between fire mode functionality. So the fact that it swaps between a 3-shot burst and a semi-auto burst is not exactly a unique thing to this legendary. It's something that a lot of dial weapons can do. So with that being said, it wasn't immediately apparent quite how this one behaved, but it is a legendary weapon. It was of course equipped on our character, it was equipped with Zane. So I'll leave you guys with some gameplay. Maybe you can have some ideas if you guys have, come up with anything. By all means, drop it in the comments down below. Maybe you noticed something that I didn't, but either way, this is another legendary weapon.
That was all me.
Didn't break a sweat.
Ain't the town red?
Then moving on from there to one of my favourite weapons, not my absolute favourite because we're saving that to the end, but one of my favourite weapons, the nuclear Mongol, which is a Vladov rocket launcher. So, you know, I mean, I love my rocket launchers anyway. You fire them off, hefty explosions. I just like explosions because in games like this, it's just a lot of fun. However, more importantly, the flavor text for this says man is a horde animal. It also says that irradiated enemies damage enemies around them, but that's just a functionality of irradiation. However, what may not be communicated on the actual flavor text is that this shoots out a cluster of energy balls that do a ton of damage. In fact, if you kind of Dragon Ball Z fans, then this kind of reminds us of like Chi blasts, you know, when they kind of like fire out all those different blasts. That's kind of what you're getting from this rocket launcher, and yo, it's a lot of fun to mess around with. After that, you then have the striking Warlord, another Dahl assault rifle. So obviously you have the ability to, again, switch between your different fire modes. But this one here has a chance to not consume any ammo. It has a 30% chance, so it's not going to happen all the time. But the fact that you can be firing with this and it has a chance to not consume ammo means you can make your rounds go a lot further, meaning you can just, you know, fire for longer before you having to reload, which is pretty useful because the assault rifles, they're pretty meaty. And of course, if you're laying down that consistent fire, then having this proc is going to be pretty nice in combat.
And family is forever. We'll start the ceremony after a few quick shout-outs. Stay bloodthirsty!
And then finally, we have my absolute favourite weapon I've seen so far. If you guys have seen any of the Borderlands coverage we've done up until this point, you'll know that I love my TDR guns. TDR is my brand. They're the ones that I love the most because throwing those weapons out and having them just like run around on the ground is awesome. I mean, I want to do that with Flak because then I'll have my pet and I'll have my guns. It's going to be a good time. However, this one is one I haven't seen before, the Turbo 10 Gallon, which is a SMG, again, TDR weapon. But for this one, when you throw it down, instead of doing the typical TDR behavior where it runs around on the ground, this instead flies around you like a flying sentry turret. So it basically becomes like a little pet that just hovers behind you, shoots enemies nearby, and behaves slightly differently, which kind of makes me excited because we've seen TDR weapons react in different ways before. We've seen them bounce, we've seen them run around, we've even seen the legendary one from the first hands-on event where it actually turns into a brain with legs. So there's a lot of different ways they can behave, and knowing that now one of them can fly, whew, I can't wait to see how some of the other legendary ones behave in-game. Either way, this is definitely the highlight, and this one actually didn't come as a pre-equipped weapon. This one came as a drop, and we hadn't seen this one before, so this one's pretty special.
I hear you, Pete. They'll never learn. But yours was thrilling. These are garbage! What a tangle, Beastmaster!
But either way, there you have it. That's a look at 6 new legendary weapons coming to Borderlands 3. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Again, let me know in the comments down below which ones you like the most. And I'm sure there are plenty more that we'll share with you at some point. But for the time being, that's it. And keep it locked for plenty more Borderlands content. I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and also click on the little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss my next upload. Also, don't forget, you can check out TwoSixNine and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. Be sure to drop by and get involved. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.